Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. Alright, so for this quest we're going to be talking to Delira Omeron the 4th, and this is for the final part to the Lord's March Plaza Chain 2. Now I want to point out that if she's not standing specifically right here, she may be right around the room. It all depends on whether or not you've completed Eyes of Stone from the first chain. If you have not, she will be at a different location, but again, right around in this vicinity. Now, I want to point out, and something I find really cool, is if you've completed the Undermine quest, this is actually the very entrance of the quest here, and this is where they had broken through. But obviously we're not in a quest right now, so once you've completed that quest, it does change the actual open world to actually include this dungeon here. Now I want to point out, if you are red boxing this quest, it is actually like something you can do even if this is not appearing. So if you haven't done Undermine and this is not actually a thing right here, you can still come to this location, use Q to target the temple runes, E to interact, and it will let you in. So as you see, the quest was active. I had actually attempted to run this a couple times now, getting a glitch, which I will explain the glitch and how it works. This one is, well, it's more of a bug than a glitch, because it definitely doesn't work in your favor. So we're gonna buff up here. So we got these two war chanters here, so this isn't the bug, but what happens here is once you start heading down there and actually getting into the fight, these two guys are going to retreat back into the cave, tossing up a barrier. Obviously you can't pass through the barrier. You'll have to wait for them to come back to this side for you to actually kill them. So the other option is you can actually kill them before they go back there, if you can. The easiest way to do that is with ranged. From here, you just want to kill everybody else left in the room. Now, once you do kill everybody in the room, it is actually going to drop down a couple of extra guys. Once they are dead, then it's going to spawn in more guys actually right here in the cave. So here's the couple extras there. Once he dies, he will drop some XP. The other runs I was getting just over 800. I don't know if we're going to get the same because of how many times I've repeated it. Yeah, so I got 878, so yeah, there we go. And then just down here, we got a loot chest. So now, what you're going to want to do is obviously grab your breakables, get all that. You'll also notice we have a few tents. Now, the tents are actually set to one of the optionals here. And what you want to do is you actually want to burn the tents. Now, in order to do that, the way you're supposed to do it is with either the kobold sappers and stand right next to them and have the kobold standing right next to them when they blow up. Kind of annoying. Or the other way is with those guys that are throwing the fire at you, like the little balls of fire. You gotta kind of like dodge back and forth so that they hit the tent, not you. Again, really annoying. The easy way to do it is have some like flame-based attack that will, like fireball, can set the tents on fire. The turrets, I believe, actually can set the tents on fire. And, you know, stuff like that. So there are 3 tents in this room that you can set on fire. There's a 4th one, but it's up ahead, and that'll be that one. So the next part, and this is where the bug comes in. So you want to actually approach the waterfall, not clicking on it. So you get the optional here to poison the water supply. The next thing, you want to approach this section. So you see the very public restroom. You want to approach it, get the aggro of the enemies without ever actually clicking on the water. And then just drag them back here so you don't accidentally click on it. Now, the reason being, if at any point you click on either one of them, even if by accident, it kind of bugs your character out and you can't actually complete that optional, which is what happened to me the other 2 times that I ran this quest. So we're going to just jump past without clicking on anything. Alright. So the next thing you want to do is obviously you want to kill this group of people. And then you want to interact with the Poisoner's Shop. Now the Poisoner's Shop will give you an empty bucket. Once you have this bucket, that's when you want to interact with the restroom. So interact with that, it will now give you a bucket of destiny. Which is, I love the description. It's a bucket that defeated an army. The smell alone is legendary. I just love that text. Once you have that, you will be able to come over here and interact with the waterfall. So the bug is, if you accidentally interact with any of these things before you're supposed to, it will not let you re-interact with them. And it's just super, super annoying. Alright, so once you complete the waterfall, it will let you kill our Medusa here. And that is one of the high-ranking officers. In fact, all the high-ranking officers are going to be Medusas. So that is just one of them. Now, each of these high-ranking officers, they drop a chest, and in their chest, they can have the Garments of Equilibrium. So there's 3 chances for it to drop, which is actually a fairly okay monk item for lower levels. It gives you that Reinforced Fists, which does additional damage when you're using your fists. So it's just real nice, real handy. So the other thing to point out is this, I don't want to call it water, but this liquid here, if you happen to step in it, it will give you a debuff to your charisma, which is annoying, but I totally understand. It's kind of hard to be charismatic when you're covered in crap. Alright, so moving on to this next room, we are going to see Skinny, who, his weapon is a giant frying pan, and another thing I love, he is the cook. And basically he attacks you with his flaming frying pan. If he hits you, he may stun you, so just watch out. The other annoying thing is he will constantly cast grease. So having freedom of movement will also definitely help in that fight there. Alright, so the next bit, we have a whole bunch of guys right here at the doorway.
This area serves as a field kitchen. Destroying their productions may be a
So you're going to want to clear everybody out first. And then I grab the breakables. So as you see, the boxes, some of them will count towards your crates. Basically everything that's not a barrel. So the next part, we're actually going to have another one of our high-ranking officials spawning in right here. In order to get her, you need to burn all the tents. So here's our last one. And there we go. again, she's dead. Here's our chest. Alright, so now that's done.
Soldiers
Heading
have
further
laid
in.
down in this hallway. Many beds are empty. Are those casualties, or have they gone into the silent?
Alright, and then you're going to come to a room with a whole bunch of explosives on the walls, on the sides, everywhere. Now, unlike most exploding barrels that only explode once you hit them, these ones actually explode if they're next to one that explodes. So just be careful, as it will set off chain reactions.
This must be the
And that's kind of your,
That's a
like
lot of
supposed to
explosives
be
for
a
one room.
kind of a
How
hint
convenient.
as to later. So you do need to blow them up as an optional. I definitely recommend kind of going slow, as annoying as it is. Just let them blow themselves up. Like so. Simply because if you blow up too many like at once, or like as it's blowing up or shooting one halfway, it actually might not count all of them. And I've had that happen a couple of times where, you know, I'm with a party, you hit one, I hit one, it met up in the middle, and it didn't count that middle one. So it can get annoying. It doesn't happen often. It's kind of got to be that, you know, random chance of you both started it at the same time, it gets to the same barrel at the same time, and then it only counts it once rather than twice, or even not at all. So it becomes annoying.
That's the
So
biggest
on
barrel of
both
explosives
sides,
you have ever seen. Careful.
so as you see, giant barrel of explosive, you can attack it. Don't do it while you can see it. This is supposed to explode massively. So what you're actually wanting to do, there's a second one there, is essentially use it as a fuse. So you hit the barrel, melee, and then you can run away, giving you time. So you want to essentially be on the other side of the room when you do this. So again, shoot the barrel, then you're going to want to run,
What do you know?
and it's going to blow up.
Two screaming officers of the
Once you
Drow
break them
army
both,
fall from the hole in the roof.
guys are going to fall from the hole that you just essentially blew up, and kind of go from there. At this point, you got to start beating on them, and just kind of really get through them. Alright, so we got a couple of guys here. Alright. So, here we go. So yeah, with those giant barrels, if you're standing right next to them, when they blow up, it will insta-kill you. Again, they do just a massive amount of damage, and again, just ouch. So the other thing to point out, once they are defeated, you can come up top here. You have a set of shrines, and right next to the shrines we also have another chest. Alright. Once you've gotten both those barrels exploded, you can actually head down and through, and just continue around the corner.
Soldiers in the hallway ahead are still asleep. They must be used to loud noises.
Got a few more breakables. We actually just got our Vandal, so awesome. And then again, a bunch more archers and whatnot. So we're going to want to continue all the way down
An ancient
to
giant
here.
temple complex rises high above.
hop down. There is a way to run around, which I will show you. But generally speaking, people just hop down. The other way is, rather than hopping down, sometimes I'll just shoot them from up top. But right here on the side, so right before you hop down, there is a kind of a ramp heading down. So again, grab your breakables. At this point, it should give you your crates, but optional. And you should almost actually be at ransack here. There we are. So now, continuing north, we got another group of guys on a ramp. You're just going to want to kill them, head up the ramp.
Somewhere upstairs, a Medusa hisses. Don't just stand there, fools. Get more soldiers up here.
So that Medusa that is mentioning, it's going to be our third general. But again, she only spawns. So the first one spawns once you kill, you do the waterfall. The second one spawns when you do the burn all the tents. This one spawns once you've killed all of the, once you've killed the two optionals, Skinny and Tinker Stab from the beginning. And then you've got to break all the exploding barrels and all the crates. Once you've done all 4 of those, I believe it's all 4, but I know for sure you got to do the crates and the exploding barrels. Once you do that, she'll spawn in, and she is our final one there.
The blood hasn't dried yet on this altar. Who was sacrificed here, and to whom?
And again, here we are with a chest. Grab our loot and head in. Now, here's where it gets a little bit rough. Where all this blood is, on both sides, there's going to be some wargs. So, just watch yourself. It can be annoying. Lots of knockdown. As well, you have 2 casters, one on either side. So you got the War Mage here. We got a War Chanter here. Once everyone's dead, we head forward. Now this is actually going to be our last shrine before the end fight, so it is a use or lose, unless of course you use Dimension Door, head to the start, rerun through the whole quest. So I definitely recommend using that just to fully top up, rebuff, all that fun stuff. So here we go. So then, to solve these puzzles, there are 2 ways to do it. You can either basically you need to step on each of the circles once. So we're going to head down. And as soon as you pop down, there are some guys. Now, unfortunately, you can no longer shoot through here to start killing them. It just won't let you. Too many people were standing up top there, killing them before they would come down, kind of making this whole fight moot. So now we're again on the final part here. So you want to hop all the way down, and we're gonna see this hag. And yeah, you just fight her. She's gonna take some damage. She'll go invisible. And then on the wall here, it's going to spawn in a portal. Now this portal is an endless respawn portal. In order to get it to stop respawning, we're going to have to touch each of these lights, but each one also has a trap box set to it. This is actually where all the traps in the quest are. So if you want to get the full bonus, you definitely need to do that. So you can see Red Tamper. Ingenious. The issue is, though it says we have it right now, so we're at currently Ingenious, as soon as we solve this puzzle, it's going to go drop back down because there are 5 new traps being added in. So again, the way that this puzzle functions is the lines associated to this button, so it'll be this line and this line. If I touch them, they're going to go away. So one way to do it is you'd follow the lines of the puzzle and make like the shape of the star, or again, you can just run in a circle, touching each one time, solving the puzzle, moving on. So again, same thing. She's gonna take some damage. She's gonna spawn in another portal. This time it'll be right here. And again, she sets in the traps, so there's that thing. We're back down to tamper. So just deal with that first group. Head around, grab the others. Now I want to point out, hirelings, other enemies, other players, and anything that touches these buttons will change whether it's lit up or not lit up. It starts to get a little bit difficult if you have, a bunch of people touching them, and like for example, say we hit that one twice, you come all the way around. Oh, which one did I not hit? Well, this time it's super easy, but if you hit one too many times, it can quickly get confusing as to how you solve the puzzle. So again, same thing. Yeah, essentially you just do this a few times. And for the most part, these ones are real easy to do. It's not too big of an issue. The final one, however, which this will be our final kind of round. There she goes. It's going to come over here and spawn one final wave. Now this wave is actually going to have a really unique enemy. I really enjoy them, as annoying as they are. And what they are, I'm just going to buff up as best I can. It's gonna be some ogres riding on some rust monsters. So they have a large hit point pool. Once they're knocked off the you kill them the first time, you just killed the rust monsters. Then you gotta fight the ogres themselves. Now I love that, as you can see, you can still see them here. Oh, there's another one. So this is why this wave is a little bit more difficult, is because each one that spawns in is 2 guys, and they have a large amount of hit points. So it can take a little bit of time. That's also why I toss up the turret for solo. Obviously, if you're with a group, it's a lot easier. You have your one guy running around getting the traps, and then everybody else killing, or everybody helps kill. Then you work on the traps, however you want to work it out. But once you're done that and you solve the final puzzle, which is right here, it will quest complete. As you can see, a nice chunk of XP. We got 33,000, plus a fair amount of optionals. So that's what, 1, 2. We'll add that up to 3,000. Another 4,000. Say about another 5,000, just over 5,000 in optionals there. So that would be 38,000, 39,000 give or take, for 20 minutes of questing. Like that's fairly decent for this quest. Then here we got our end chest. Almost always drops a Night Hag's Heartstone. If you don't get it, guarantee you if you're in a party, one of them got it. They kind of drop like candy. Alright. So once you're done this, there are a couple more things I want to show you here. So we're going to finish out. We're going to turn in the quest. Then we've got that half-orc that was at the entrance there that we can also talk to, where we actually picked up the entirety of the chain. Now again, it doesn't matter whether you talk to him before you start or after you start. Either way, you can still get the reward. So once you've completed all of this chain, we can actually head over here and talk to Darman Kosh, this big old dude right here, and he will give us a reward list. Now in this reward list we will see some named items, Nolish Warbrow, so on, as well you'll also see some marks. And so with the marks there, what you can actually do is head on over to the corner here, and you can actually create some upgrades to these items. So it's really cool. I definitely recommend looking at it. There's some pretty cool items. But yeah, that's the quest. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a blast. We'll catch you guys later. Have a good one, all.